So, here we go. Welcome to another episode of With Enough Prep Time. I'm your host, the Nerd Man, and today, I'm going to be reacting to a guy. Actually, I don't mind him. I actually quite like this guy. It's not, this isn't anything kind of personal against him. This is just about his opinions and taking on, as I call it, the MCU bullshit. And I wanted to record me taking this on because it happens so fucking much that it's ridiculous to me how MCU fans clearly bias MCU people. Oh, I don't even know what it is. I really don't. It's extraordinary to me how anybody can think like this. So I'm gonna go and take on this guy's ranking of every MCU and DCU film together. Um, because I think he's a great example, not because I'm, emotionally um, care about this, but I just think it's an overall great example of the way comic book movie fans think, which makes me feel either they know nothing about film, um, you know, or they just I don't know. I don't know how they analyze films. And it's extraordinary to me that anybody can think like this. So let me just do a couple of things before I share his video. His name is Nice Guy. Wish him all the best, Sean Chandler. He does a lot of ranking videos. And there was another video of his I wanted to react to about the fall of the DCU and the reasons for the fall of the DCU, where he makes some fairly good points. Post Endgame MCU fans are at their hypercritical peak. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's the post Endgame kind of syndrome as well. They're finally realizing their movies were shit, and the only reason they liked them was because they were children. But they can't accept that all of them were actually bad. They have to make some kind of excuse that, oh, the ones before Endgame were good and they were so coherent and the way they connected with each other was so brilliant. Get out of here. They were not that great either. Some of the ones after Endgame have been okay. Some of the ones before Endgame were okay. None of them really reached the level of great, like a great movie. At best, you could call them great comic book movies, but you couldn't call them great movies like The Dark Knight, for instance. DCU is the same. I absolutely, this is what I've always advocated, except I think they made better comic book movies sometimes and worst comic book movies sometimes than the MCU. But I'd say it was about 50-50 for the DCU, where the great was really better than a vast majority of MCU movies. Like, and considering the MCU has made like 100 fucking movies, that's pretty fucking darn good if you ask me. So I wanted to call out the bullshit straight away. You're gonna see the bullshit come out absolutely straight away on this video. Um, because I needed to get a list of MCU movies uh just so I can call this bullshit out properly. Where can I have the images? Here are the images of MCU movies. All right. Are you ready? You ready for some bullshit? So let's put this out. Sean Chandler, nice guy. This take, and I want to see. Do you if you agree with me on this take, right? If you maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm smoking the Buddha sauce. You know what I'm saying? But I think I'm right on this first take. I think this is ridiculous what he says in the beginning. Um, How long are you going for? I'm about to jump in the shower. Dude, I've got to go to work, so I'm gonna try and make this quick. So, hopefully, not so long. MCU during Infinity Saga, especially Phase 3, overhyped. Totally correct. 1610, man. MCU is trash. I don't necessarily agree with that. But their fans are sometimes hyperbolic about the quality of their movies, which they liked. Let me reiterate, because they were children when they first saw them. One problem MCU equals not having all the rights from the start. Spider-Man and X-Men franchises mainly, but Hulk got screwed over by Marvel versus Universal rights issues. Absolutely true. Cole, what are you saying, man? You're on mute.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, yeah. I kind of have to agree. I mean, I think like the thing is with the MCU and their fans is like each the DC, EU, and MCU had issues, and then they had some good films. But it seems like with a lot of MCU fans, it's like they'll give the bad films more of like a free pass and like redeeming points just because it's part of the universe they love. But then with the DCEU, they'll like do the opposite just because it wasn't, fully put together and it,
Put in a universe, right? Exactly.
yeah, and because they killed it off, so then it's like they'll do like the exact opposite with films like Shazam. If anything, they'll take points away from it just because like, oh, what's the
It's
point of
not
this
part of a
even?
career, and yeah, yeah, right, right. But check this take out in the beginning. I'm just getting ready to turn in for the night. I'll listen for a bit. I sent you the link anyway if you decide to join, because I want you to tell me what you. I'd love you to tell me what you think of this first take. So let's listen to this the beginning. Let's get this on.
Is over. Soon, James Gunn will be launching the DCU. So today we're going to stop and rank all 49 MCU and DCEU films from the worst to the best one final time.
So let's just start there. So 49. Of those 49, I'd say about 90% of them are MCU movies, right? Would you agree with that?
Around that, I mean, I think like
Around
80% at
90%.
least.
So whose fault is superhero fatigue? Is it the DC that has been stuffing cinemas with bullshit movies for the past 10 years, or has it been the MCU?
Yeah, I mean, MCU probably.
All
Yeah.
right, just to make sure we're on the same page about that.
Mhm.
Who's superhero fatigue? What that is about? It's about the MCU. It's not about DCEU. If DCU had have just if DCU was the only thing in cinemas for the last 10 years, MCU never existed, people would still be into comic book movies because they would have only
Yeah.
got like, two, you know, and I liked it back then when seeing a comic book movie was special. You know what I'm saying? It was special.
Mhm.
Like, wow, we're getting a Shazam movie, or wow, we're getting a what do you call it? Miles Morales movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never thought I'd see that in cinemas. But then the MCU just started putting all these Z-lister fucking characters on screen and making them comedians. And when there's nothing comic, what's comic? Why should there be one joke in a Moon Knight series or you know show or movie? Do you know what I mean? What has
Yeah.
Moon Knight got to do with comedy? And that's why people look at something like Shazam and they go, oh, it's generic because it's got comedy in it. But it's like, no, that character's a comedy character. It should have comedy. And to be fair to the MCU, that's true of Aquaman as well. Why the fuck does Aquaman have comedy in it? So much comedy. At best, it should be more like the Sam Raimi movies, like the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies. That's the tone Aquaman should take. Not this fucking, like quippy, crappy joke fest that the Aquaman 2 was. Anyway, DC comic fans complain about DC being too edgy. Then they changed tone, and DC comic fans complained it's too campy. Right, exactly. They don't know what the fuck they want. Uh, that's exactly right. That's exactly what I say, 1610 man, all the time. They just couldn't win audience because, and this is the thing. I'll say one more thing before I let them continue 1610 man. Where are those people who were complaining that the DC was too dark? Where are all of those fans? I'm going to put them in inverted commas. Those MCU fans who were like, "It's too dark. We need some more light-hearted stuff." Where are all the critics? Where are all the critics who were saying, "Oh, the DCU is too dark. It has to, lighten up. These are just comic book movies. It's for children." Where are all those critics coming to the aid of movies like Aquaman 2? Where are they? That's what I want to know. Uh, Cole, sorry. Anything to say before I continue?
Yeah, no, I agree. And, the same ones now, like, complaining, like, stuff like Deadpool 3 has to be rated R, but, with the DCEU, they would kind of do the opposite. And I mean, for me, at least personally, I mean, it wasn't that it was dark and then it was campy. It was just bad, dark
Yeah, there was
movies to
bad
me. And
films.
then,
Yeah, sure.
yeah,
I can agree
but
with
with
that.
the
But don't ever,
fanboys, yeah,
you should never criticize a movie for being too dark or too light, in my
yeah,
opinion. There's very, very rare occasions where that's a legitimate criticism.
mhm,
I don't think, you know, that's a legitimate criticism at all. It depends on what the
yeah,
filmmaker is trying to achieve. That's what you should be judging the movie on. Does the
yeah,
filmmaker achieve what he is trying to? So, for instance, in Man of Steel, I would say the filmmaker didn't achieve what he was trying to do. And I'll explain that when he gets to it. But for now, let's just move quickly through this. So, let's see this.
In last Justice League, I've said it many times before, but I think this movie is a gross abomination where Warner Brothers tried to use a family tragedy as an opportunity to take over a Zack Snyder film and turn it into something else. Where they started out trying to make this big, massive epic, and then they tried to make the Reader's Digest version by having Joss Whedon come in, write some stupid jokes.
He said that you were the thirstiest young woman he'd ever met. Hungriest.
And I thought my jokes were bad.
Condense everything, and it just turns it into this bizarre Frankenstein monster of a film. 48 Suicide Squad, another monstrosity from the Warner Brothers regime from 8 years back. David Ayer set out to make one movie. That's what he wrote. That's what he shot. And then Deadpool came out. It was this gigantic hit.
All right. So I'm going to keep it a buck with you. I'm going to keep it a fucking buck. And anybody in the comments, you can tell me what you think of this as well. Now, would I argue that these are the two worst movies in the DCU? I actually would. First of all, I don't think they're the two worst movies in the DCU,
mhm.
and that's from somebody who hates Justice League. I
Yeah,
hate it
I mean, I would
with
argue that
with
they
a
are as
passion.
well, but yeah, I can see the arguments against it. I just
But
don't like his points.
I could see the arguments even for it. But let's keep it a buck. I'll give him Justice League. But I still think there are movies in the MCU that are worse than Justice League. There are, without a doubt, in my
Oh
mind,
yeah,
movies
Eternals.
in it. I was gonna say The Eternals, uh, Ant-Man and the Wasp 2, Thor 2. Are you trying to tell me you seriously got more entertainment from The Eternals than the
Yeah, and
Suicide
they all
Squad?
have the
At least
same
the
issues
Suicide
and the
Squad
same bad
has,
comedy, but
yeah,
because
no,
it's the
no,
DCEU, they'll be harsher on it.
yeah, no, exactly. Are you trying to tell me? Let's be really, really like clear here. At least the Suicide Squad had some good characters in it. At least, Justice League had some iconic characters that you kind of just cared about just because whatever, like they're part of the Justice League. There was some merit to it. There is no merit to the Eternals at all, in terms of like, oh, are there characters that you like in it? Is the music good? Is the cinematography good? I mean, there were songs in the Suicide Squad I bumped my head to sometimes. At least what was in the Eternals that was worth even putting a frame of film towards? Let alone, like, let's talk about Captain Marvel here. What character in Captain Marvel was more interesting than Harley Quinn or
The cat.
the cat? Yeah, the cat was definitely. So I want to know. I want to look this guy in the eye and him tell me that he genuinely enjoyed the Eternals more. What was it? The Harry Styles.
Yeah, that
You know?
end credit scene. Yeah, and again, I just hate his points, and I don't know if this guy's like a big Snyder fan or not. He sounded like it at the beginning, and with that
He
BS.
is.
But I'll see where.
He
Okay,
is.
well, yeah, I could tell because he's saying that BS at the beginning, but then he's also dismissing the fact, still calling it Justice League, even though all the things he's criticizing in that film and criticizing Josh Whedon for, and saying he came in and did that. No, he did not. He was making a completely different film, just like Zack Snyder. That was going to be 3 hours long or 2.5 hours long. And Warner Brothers went in and like changed up like 90% of it. So I can tell this guy's just a giant blind dick rider of Zack Snyder as well. And he's also given David Ayer the benefit of the doubt, though, even though he's been a garbage filmmaker. But you could hear it in his rant. He's like, he went in
Oh,
to
he
make
did.
this one movie, but then things changed. Oh my god, this guy.
He did the Beehive recently, which is supposedly good. I
Yeah.
don't think David A is a garbage filmmaker at all. I think
Well, more so mean
Training Day was
recently.
good. Training Day was good.
Yeah, he's made
I
some
think
good films, but recently,
Fury or something was good. Nerdman is an MCU star. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what Eternal should have stayed a low budget TV movie. Netflix, right? Exactly. Um, all of Phase 4 minus Doctor Strange 2 are worse. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, J-Man. Like, I'm sorry. Like, Justice League is a mess, a complete mess of a movie. But the first time I walked out of it, I was like, whatever. I mean, that's what you asked for. That was my thought on it. The critics asked for it and they got it. This is a light-hearted Saturday morning cartoon. That's what it reminded me of. It was like a Saturday morning cartoon, and for being a Saturday morning cartoon, it wasn't it wasn't something I wanted to watch again, but it wasn't like Batman and Robin bad or something like that. It was just okay, forgettable. And as for Suicide Squad, I think again, you know, I saw a lot of merit in that movie. I know you hate it, but I saw a lot of merit in that movie. There were a lot of good aspects to that movie in terms of the characters, specifically, that were very, very likable or menacing. I thought Viola Davis did a fantastic job. I thought Will Smith did a great job. Harley Quinn was definitely a fun character. There is no fun to be had in Thor: The Dark World. None. Zero. Thor: Love and Thunder. There is no fun to be had. I mean, let's
I
look at
mean, I
some
liked when the
movies.
character died from cancer. That was great.
That was all right. You're right about that. That bit was actually quite cool. Um, no, I'm joking.
Yeah, because I hated the character.
My mum passed from cancer, so I can't
Oh
really
shit!
joke
I'm
about that
sorry to
shit.
hear.
No, no, it's all right. But it's hard for me to joke about. But yes, that was funny. Um, yeah, I mean, let's just keep it a buck. And there are more movies. These are just ones that I know people will agree with in terms of bad MCU movies. But there are more movies that I could throw on this list that inherently have less merit to them than even a broken up Suicide Squad that was clearly, taken away from the director's vision. But at least in the Suicide Squad, the director's vision kind of shone through a bit. It had some individuality to it as a movie. A lot of MCU movies are just products. There's no directorial vision in them at all. And they're shamefully bad. They're toy commercials. These aren't even films. Let's keep it a buck. If we're talking about movies, films, right? MCU has about 3 films. The rest of them are toy commercials. I mean, I'll say 15, 3 films, and then about 10 good toy commercials. Because a toy commercial can be all right. There are some films that are blatantly just toy commercials, or not films, but pieces of entertainment that are toy commercials that are fine. What do you say to that point before I move on? You agree with that, or
No,
you
I
disagree?
completely agree, and that's why they take so many shortcuts. It's like their main focus isn't trying to make an artistic film in every scene. That's why there's so much just comedy filler in it. It's just to pump them out and sell the toys, and which sucks. And then when you see a film that kind of does the opposite, where it's comedic, but each comedic scene actually has a purpose, like Shazam or Guardians of the Galaxy 3,
Right.
then people will write it off as the same thing, even though it's not.
It's absolutely not. And the thing that's interesting for me about what you just said is you can tell that they're toy commercials. Like, for instance, I'll throw them a bone. Like, even Aquaman 2 went in that toy commercial kind of direction. Because when it's a toy commercial, because they always have to put the superheroes in different suits. You notice that? Like the Spider-Man and Spider
Mhm.
Monkey suit, or his Spider Doctor Strange suit, or his Iron Spider. That's how you know it's a fucking toy commercial, primarily. Like the latter day Batman and Robin movie, and Batman Forever. You always have to get them in the different suits so that we can put those toys out there. Like that's the focus. Anyway, let's get back to this bullshit, because that was what I started watching it, and as soon as he said Suicide Squad is number 2, I was like, your whole list is jacked up, bro. So
And
let's
all
see
of a
if he does
sudden,
another
all these
DCU
executives
movie.
got the idea, what if we turn Suicide Squad into Deadpool?
Deadpool opened. We're going to turn David Ayer's dark, soulful movie into a comedy now.
And they changed out the score with all these rock songs. They re-edited the film, they reshot the film, and turned it into this bizarre mishmash of ideas that feels like it was directed by committee, because essentially it was.
And the thing is, I have it.
Okay, wait a second. Feels like it was directed by committee. Are you kidding me right now?
Yeah. This
80% of MCU films feel like they were directed by committee. Infinity War itself and Endgame feel like they were directed by committee. What are you fucking talking about? How can you criticize this film for that? I don't know if they go back and watch these films, but there's no way you can look me in the fucking eye and tell me Eternals or fucking Captain Marvel has more entertainment value in it than Suicide Squad. I don't care how much you hate Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
There is no way you can tell me that.
Yeah, whatever. This guy just lost all credibility anyway. It's already the second thing, because he just defended David Ayer's film, saying the executives ruined it throughout this whole entry. And yet Josh Whedon's was the exact same if you do research, but because it doesn't fit his Snyder narrative, and Suicide Squad 2016 had that Snyder stuff, and David Ayer, interacted with the cultist. He did it with only him. So oh yeah, and because of the stuff with
A copy of it,
recently,
right?
obviously,
Because
yeah.
everyone I've
So fuck this.
shown the cut has the same reaction. Rage. This is the movie we wanted. Why didn't we get this?
Next, Thor Love and Thunder. On paper, this should have been a fantastic follow-up to Ragnarok, where we're tackling the theological problem of evil with Thor, dealing with life and death. We're bringing in comic book movie legend Christian Bale. But while it tackles really important issues, it does so in a movie that takes absolutely nothing seriously. Everything is a joke. And so it's blatantly at odds with itself when it wants to tackle cancer, faith, doubt, but it can't stop making silly base level jokes, and it just undercuts the entire movie.
Weren't you the guy saying fucking Thor Ragnarok is extraordinary? So what did you expect them to do in Thor Love and Thunder? And let me make clear, Thor Love and Thunder is not the worst MCU movie either. Like, but
It is not.
I mean, it's arguable, but like, I still can't get over Eternals. I really can't. I mean, Eternals is probably got less entertainment value than even Captain Marvel.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
I
you
haven't
could say
seen
this is
Captain
the most
Marvel 2.
annoying, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't think it's the worst made though.
Yeah, I don't think it's really the worst, to be honest. It was shit. It was really, really bad. But like, you look at Ant-Man and the Wasp, dude. Like, can you remember that? And what about Thor: The Dark World, bro? It's like,
Yeah, people try defending it nowadays, and I don't get it. And
mm,
yeah, Ant-Man and the Wasp. All I have to say to that is, God, Marvel must have paid off all the critics and audiences very well to get the scores it did. I don't understand why.
exactly. That was
Well,
incredible that got what was it? A positive rating.
yeah,
Absolutely
it
fucking
did everywhere
incredible.
for some reason.
Unbelievable. I couldn't believe when I saw the score for that. It was one of the worst. I'm not even joking. One of the worst movies I've ever seen. I can't remember any of it, but it was literally it was mind-bogglingly bad. But it still wasn't as bad as the Eternals. The Eternals was bad in a way I remember it. Do you know what I mean? I was just like, this is so bad, like when I was watching it. And I went into that one wanting to like it. Oh, and let me throw Shang-Chi in the mix as well. I'm not even gonna lie. Shang-Chi ain't that good. I mean, it's got some alright action scenes. I'll give it that. Anyway, all right, let's go.
46, Wonder Woman, 1984.
So good. This is the one that should have been last. This and Eternals, and Ant-Man and the Wasp, Ant-Man and the Wasp, the second one. Quantumania shouldn't be last. It's not that bad. But this movie and Ant-Man and the Wasp should have been, and Eternals should have been last, in my opinion. Like, I could see this one being dead last, but I still think it had a couple of scenes that were worth watching. Like the opening sequence, I think was really fucking well done in Wonder Woman 84. Like, just that opening sequence with the little girl, I think there was some incredible shots, music, everything. But yeah, this one should have been really, really, like, there's a good argument for it being lost. It is a mess of a movie. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I would probably put this, like, again, I know you don't think of it like that low, but for me it is Suicide Squad 2016. I would probably put it on the same level as that.
No way. No fucking way. This is worse than Suicide. How can you this movie makes no sense. The plot holes are gaping in this movie. I'll see what he says about it, but the plot holes are absolutely
Oh
extraordinary
God,
in this
if he
movie.
says
And
something,
then
I'm gonna
and then
flip out.
and then do you remember that scene? There's this whole scene where they go to Egypt or something and they meet some dude. That's some of the worst, laziest filmmaking I've ever seen. There are only 4 characters in this movie. The rest of the characters are completely, they're inhuman. They're so surface level. And that bullshit about her like fighting this rapist or whatever, right? In the streets. You remember when she's fighting this this guy who's
Yeah,
trying to
that
like,
was
and then
just
she throws him and then walks off and leaves the woman with the woman who's almost been attacked by this guy, leaves her with this dude still. Like, do you know? And
yeah.
then later he comes back, and it's just like for no reason, just no apparent reason. And I'm sure that does happen. I'm not saying like women don't get attacked in the park by some fucking fat losers or whatever. But just the context of it, it was, to be honest, it really didn't match the tone of this movie. It was weird to have that just in the center of this, like, really lighthearted, goofy story. And for once, I actually did feel, like, a lot of people go, oh, men are under attack like in something like Captain Marvel. Okay, they were under attack a little bit in Captain Marvel, but in this movie, they were seriously under attack. Like every single man that wasn't Steve Trevor was fucking garbage, was a garbage person. It was just terrible. It was fucking terrible. Um, and especially coming off the first one. I'm sorry. I don't know how you could say this is on the same level as Suicide Squad. That's
Yeah.
bizarre to me.
Well, let's listen to him. Say if he says something that I think he'll say, I'm gonna laugh.
All right, let's go.
Or now, I enjoyed this movie enough.
Wait. Do people agree with that? That Wonder Woman 2 is worse than Suicide Squad? Can just people in the comments tell me if you agree with that? I'm baffled by people who say it.
When I saw it in December of 2020, because we didn't get a lot of blockbusters that year, and we didn't get to go to the theater many times that year. But it's a film that the longer I reflect on it, and every time I rewatch it, I realize it simply does not work on a narrative level. It has some scenes and moments and ideas that can arouse some big emotions in you. However, if you stop and think about what's going on, it is just plot hole after plot hole after plot hole. It's far too long. It makes no sense. And there's some plot points in here that are offensive if you do think about them. 45, Thor: The Dark World, the MCU at its most mediocre. Now, there were good
At its most mediocre. Did you say at its most mediocre? Oh, I've still never seen Wonder Woman 2. Suicide Squad is better. Yeah, exactly. Suicide Squad is better than Wonder Woman 2. That's fucking crazy what you're saying, Cole. All right. At its most mediocre. We can already see where this is going. How is it mediocre? Do you mean bad? Do you mean awful? Terrible? What's
He has to be
mediocre
nicer to
about it?
these films, though. So
It's fucking crazy. Mediocre.
ideas on the table in the development process for this film. They hired Patty Jenkins. She wanted to do like Space Romeo and Juliet. And then the writers wanted Hela as the villain. And then the wackos and these committees in New York City were like, nah, Hela won't sell enough toys. These aren't good ideas.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for them.
So they cranked out this bland film that has movie stars being charismatic. It has jokes like it's supposed to. It has action set pieces, but it's so utterly safe that it's totally forgettable. Real quick, today's video is brought to you by Magic Spoon. Growing up, I loved cereal. I'd eat cereal with milk in the morning. And that's
Yeah, I'm gonna skip this bit.
$5. Thank you, Magic Spoon, for sponsoring today's video.
Thank you for shutting up.
43, Captain Marvel. Now, this movie isn't without its charm. It's nice to see the world of the MCU in the 90s. It's fun to see Nick Fury before he became cynical and jaded and knew all the stuff going on. but it is a clunky, awkward story that always feels like it has our lead character at arm's length because she has amnesia and everyone is constantly telling her who she is. And so it just makes for a very strange experience. Like they never quite got a hold of what they were trying to do with the movie.
Is that like a personal attack or something?
40.
All right, let me go at this, right? So I don't disagree. Captain Marvel is one of the worst movies. But I've got to say, when I first watched it, I was like, I don't know what the big deal is with this. This movie is kind of like a lot of MCU movies. It's not, and actually, I liked one narrative thing that they did in the beginning, the way they narratively told the story in the beginning. But it was kind of like a lot of MCU movies. It was kind of like I felt like, oh, okay, Doctor Strange, kind of same level as this,
Thor.
to be honest. That these are not. There's not a vast difference. It's tonally, you know, as much meaningless garbage as half of the movies in your franchise, bro. So I never knew why people were like specifically hating on this. They already had a hate boner for the star before they went in. And then when they saw it, they had the confirmation bias. So yeah, as much as I agree, like Captain Marvel is, it's a meaningless cash grab. But a lot of the movies are meaningless cash grabs. 1610 Man. I agree, it's a meaningless cash grab, but a lot of their movies are meaningless cash grabs, and we're going to go through them. I think, for instance, you know, Spider-Man, the Spider-Man 2 movie in their franchise? You remember that?
Yeah.
I think that's as bad as Captain Marvel. I'm not going to say worse, but
I would agree if
I
it wasn't for Mysterio. He saved it from being completely terrible.
did he? Did one scene save it? When the one scene where what's his name
I
got
wouldn't say
to do
one
a little
scene.
bit of acting, that where he in the bar, that was it. That was it,
I think there
bro.
were cool moments with him.
And then there was the
elsewhere.
Mysterio. I'll give you this: the Mysterio thing where he does his little illusions bit. That was all right. That was good. In fact, it wasn't all right. It was genuinely good. You know, where he's going, where Spider-Man's going through all them, you know, illusions and stuff. That was good. But
Yeah.
apart from that, I'm not. Yeah, Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel had some good moments as well. Like, I can't remember the movie. That's the problem, but I can't remember that
No, it
Spider-Man
didn't
movie
really.
much either.
But yeah, I mean, I thought it was bad. I don't think it's like as aggressively bad as other people. Like, again, it's kind of
No.
like as generic and just like whatever, and kind of like
Yeah,
dragging along as like some of the like earlier ones, like the first Avenger, which had really good moments and potential, but I thought kind of ended up like that. And same thing with the first Thor. But
right,
then people, but
right.
then
Thank
because
you.
now the whole universe is like more like that, or they grown up and seen more films like Captain Marvel as like more adults, and they think it's that much worse, and then they also go back
Right.
to those and they
Let's
like them
keep it
more
a
for
buck.
nostalgia.
That's one of the things that always gets to me as well. Those first MCU movies were not that good.
Yeah, like
The Captain America movie, I remember coming out of that super disappointed, bro. Like
yeah.
for somebody who was a Captain America fan, to see how they did like this what was it called? Red Skull. He was a shitty villain. Like this is one of the best villains in comic book history. Like super fucking evil. And he did nothing in that movie, dude. Nothing of fucking like what did he do in that movie? Like where did K Dots go?
I don't know, but yeah, it was
Um
disappointing. Like again, people have like now it's like they go back to it, and then because of nostalgia, they're trying to say like they were great, but it's like at the time they were considered mediocre. The first Captain America film, the first Thor film, they were considered that, and
yeah,
it was really
exactly.
only
They were
Iron Man.
mediocre, bro. They were mediocre. That the only good one was Iron Man. Iron Man was all right. It was good. Like the jokes were good. Most of the jokes that were good you saw in the trailer. To be fair, the trailers really ruined that movie. I don't know if you remember. If you were, how old were you at the time?
I was like 8 or something. Yeah, I
Okay,
didn't
yeah.
see
So
it
you
when it
don't
came out.
remember.
Yeah.
If you were there back then, those trailers absolutely ruined the movie because all of the good jokes were in the trailers, right? And then all you were left with in that movie, and this is why I was disappointed in Iron Man, even though it is an actually good movie. All you were left with once all the good jokes that were in the trailers had been already shown to you was the third act, which was garbage. Basically, like the third act, and also when he saved the terrorists. Those are the only two bits of the movie that you did not see that were really, really good, that were in the trailer, that weren't in the trailer, spoiled in the trailer. Um, so yeah, like as I said, Iron Man was actually genuinely good, but it wasn't, like that third act. The thing they say about Wonder Woman 1, they should be saying about Iron Man 1, because that third act was trash, bro. Absolute garbage.
Iron Man
As for
one third
Captain
act is
America,
just a boring action sequence in general.
Yeah, just forgettable.
yeah, it's completely forgettable. It's just a CGI. Oh, it has no philosophical stakes. At least with the Wonder Woman, there was a philosophical, debate between Ares and her, to keep some kind of interest in the third act. There was nothing in that third act. It was just like a bigger Iron Man fighting Iron Man. That was it. And then we're forgetting about the Incredible Hulk, bro. That movie was trash. Like Thor, I always thought was overrated. Captain America, okay, it's grown on me a bit, but it's still quite a mediocre movie. So again, when I look at those movies and I look at something like Captain Marvel, I'm like, is it really that bad? I think I'm gonna keep it a buck. I think Black Widow is better than all of those movies. The first four MCU movies, I think Black Widow's better. That's just me. I know I hear a pin drop because K Dot's and Cole's sexism won't allow them to agree with that point. Oh, the villain was turned into a woman.
Jesus Christ.
So tell me, K Dots, do you agree that the Suicide Squad is the worst movie of all of between all the MCU
Well, you
and
should
DCU
clarify
movies?
which one, because you did say the.
Sorry, Suicide Squad 2016. Is that worse than every movie in the MCU?
2016, no. I mean, look, I'll say this: it's up there with the overrated ones. That's all I'll say. It's better than Far From Home. It's better than Homecoming. I mean, personally, it's better than Thor 2, Thor 3, Thor 4. It's better than Ant-Man 2, Ant-Man 3. It's better than Avengers 2. It's still not a great DC movie, but it's better than a lot of the MCU movies.
Thank you. Okay. Who said Call of
But
Duty?
see, all the ones I compared it to, it's like it's not saying much, but it's better than a lot. Like there's a lot of MCU movies that people think are better than most of the DC movies, and this is the thing in general that kind of
Jokes, man. What's he
bothers
talking
me
about?
because when people talk about DC's trash, right? And that's why you gotta always ask them specifically, like, what do you mean DCEU, DC Comics, DC Animation? Like, no, DC just trash, and it's like it's really because of what the DCEU did. It's only because of DCEU. That's why I say
It's only because the DCU wasn't connected. But
no.
a
It's
lot of
not that.
movies, a lot of movies
It's
weren't
not even that it's
connected
connected.
before.
It's not even that. I mean that too, but this is what I say. These live action stuff, like I'm glad we get them, but honestly, these have such a huge, these can affect the perception of these characters in a negative or positive way. Because recently, I'm not sure if y'all seen it. There's literally people debating all over the internet now that Kratos could defeat the Hulk. Kratos from God of War could defeat the Hulk. And I'm like, look what the MCU has done to the fucking Hulk. People think fucking Kratos of all people can defeat the Hulk. Kratos.
Right.
And then and let me just say this about the DCEU, the effects of it is bleeding over into like the DC games. Like, look at the Suicide Squad shit. I mean, look at the hate that game is getting because of some movies, right?
No,
Some
it's
movies
true.
that aren't even connected to it. It's like, that's why they got to be very careful with how you portray these characters and what you want to illustrate and deliver to the audience. Like, you represent them the best way they can, so you don't get into this position where it affects your other shit. But to be fair, I think it's a little bit biased at times, because if you notice with the MCU, while some people say the MCU trash, so they won't say it, but they don't let that bleed over into like the Marvel animation.
No, you knew this guy was on one when he goes, "Oh, Thor was it Thor the Dark World?" That he said, "This is the height of MCU mediocrity." It's like,
yeah, that
what
was
do you
the
mean
one.
mediocrity, bro?
I mean, I think what he means
why
is
call
just
it
like
mediocre?
the most like
Mediocre means
soulless,
medium.
But I mean, yeah, I don't really understand it fully. I think he just means like
what are they judging? If you judge it by film standards, they're wrong, because on a film level, the scores, the cinematography, the characters, the lack of plot holes, all of that is better in DC movies for the most part. If you're talking about it from comic book accuracy level, as comic book inaccurate as some of the characters are in
I mean, I'll be honest, MCU and
DCU
DC
movies,
both
they are
even on
way
that.
more comic inaccurate. Like in MCU movies, you can't tell me they're not.
But see, I'll say this, Norman. I think as far as the comic accuracy, inaccuracy stuff, MCU and DC in live action are both even.
Because they're not even. It's not even close. MCU is way more comic book in the comic book. At least they get the origin stories right for the DC characters. I mean, at the very, very least.
Well, when I say, like, pulling those little tidbits of, for example, the stuff you need, like if you're doing a Batman movie, you kind of have to have Bruce Wayne. You don't have to show it, but you got to have the origin be that Bruce Wayne's parents got shot. That's why he's Batman, blah, blah, blah. That stuff happened. Now, for example, I wouldn't disagree with you, because if you look at Captain Marvel, right, they kind of butchered that origin of that movie, because
they butchered the origin of Captain Marvel.
Because Captain Marvel,
they went so far. They went so far as to butcher the origin of Spider-Man. That's an A-list character, bro, and they butchered his story. Don't tell me that DC is more comic inaccurate or DCU. Fuck it, I hate Man of Steel, don't I? That's at the very least, the story of Superman. It might not be the character of Superman, but that's the story of Superman. Is it not?
Refugee from another planet, seeking asylum
on
Earth, and he meets a family that tells him maybe.
Yeah. And all right, they mixed Wonder Woman's origin, New 52, and original origin, but that's the character of Wonder Woman. Even in Wonder Woman 84, that's the character of Wonder Woman. No matter what you want to say about that film, that is, like a version of the character of Wonder Woman. She acts like Wonder Woman in that movie.
Nerman, I'll say this. After reading George Perez's issue on the Wonder Woman, which is really not that much about Wonder Woman, it's really just about the Amazons, their origin, I'm extra excited for that Themyscira show that they got. Show. Because, bro, that issue 1 of that George Perez shit with just the Amazons, that's a fucking movie in itself. I mean, that's a damn near a TV show.
Yeah. I told you. It's a good. He was really good on Wonder Woman. You should read I'm telling you, there are some dope Wonder Woman comics. I don't know why they didn't adapt them for the second movie. I mean, if you see
I
this
mean,
Wonder Woman versus
Patty
Medusa
wanted to do
story,
too much. Patty wanted to do too much. I told her, she better chill with that writing shit.
you know what the problem is? She met fucking what's his name?
Who?
Your bro from before, Jody. That's the problem. He probably advised her on the shit that people want to see, and it was some
He
bullshit.
didn't advise her. No, he didn't.
I'm telling you, bro.
Nah, he didn't. Look, they know
That's
each
why
other.
what
They ain't
happens
got
when
that like
you get the chance to meet like one of these people who are in power, and you pick the wrong, or have power over these characters, and you pick the wrong type of person to meet them.
Nah, I don't think he had that much influence. I just think
I'm
Patty.
telling you, bro. Because
Bro,
he was the one
bro,
who got her to make Wonder Woman fly, which was a good thing.
I mean that's
But I'm
something
telling you,
you need to have Wonder Woman fly. But this is what I would say. Patty, as far as she goes, okay. She's one of those directors, and I think a lot of directors are this way in general when it comes to adapting shit. The studio themselves are gonna put a hold on them, like, yo, all right, we're gonna have this person write the script, you direct it, right? But the studio's like, all right, now you kind of get free reign to do what you want to do. And while Patty does have good intentions with Wonder Woman, her trying to impose herself onto the script so much and not just direct, I think is the bigger issue. I think look, just like Zack Snyder needed to be leashed, Patty Jenkins needed to be leashed. I mean, Patty is not as bad as Zack. She can hold herself back to an extent, but
no, she's worse than Zack Snyder.
some directors need to be on the leash.
No. You can't tell me after that monstrosity she made it, she's better than Zack Snyder. That's some bullshit.
I mean, Wonder Woman.
I mean, I don't know.
Wait. Wonder Woman 1
Wonder
is
Woman 84 is worse than. I mean, okay,
right, but she still directed.
Sucker Punch is worse than Wonder Woman 84, but he's only made one Sucker Punch.
Wonder Woman 84 is better than Sucker Punch. Something like.
No.
But I mean, bro.
No, I said one Sucker Punch is worse than Wonder Woman 84.
No, but Wonder Woman.
But he's only made one Sucker Punch. Even this stupid new movie that he made is more competent than fucking Wonder Woman 84.
Right, but this is Patty's only movie where she missed so far.
Yeah, I'd like to give her another chance. I'd like to give her another chance. Maybe not Wonder Woman, but like a different character.
Zack Snyder has more misses. Zack Snyder has more misses with most of his filmography than Patty. Patty, I mean, she doesn't have as many films as him, to be fair.
Yeah,
right.
But that monster film was dope.
So far.
The monster film she did with Charlize Theron.
Yeah, that movie's dope. But she only missed once so far. She still has opportunity to.
No, but that was a and as I said, like men get other chances. Men make bad movies and then get another chance to make a movie. I'd like to make, if it wasn't a character that was so special to me, I would give her another chance. But I can't give her another chance with Wonder Woman because that was she damn near killed off Wonder Woman's momentum, bro.
Hey, look,
like she straight up like if people didn't love the character so much, that would have been Wonder Woman's momentum dead. And they're still killing it off. Like they should have come back immediately with a third dope movie. That should have been their priority, bro.
And I don't think you could have recovered with a third movie.
Of course you could. Of course you could. Why can't you recover with a third movie?
Your second movie is low key that point where, look, if you're doing a trilogy, your
second movie should be the best. I know. I agree with you.
No, I'm not even the best, but like it got to be way better than the first. And
no, all right. What about Guardians of the Galaxy? Guardians of the Galaxy kind of shit the bed with the second movie.
The second movie to me, like I don't think the second movie's bad. It's just all right. The third movie's way better than the second. The first movie is better than the second.
To be honest, I think
it is backwards. It's backwards. Actually, Nerdman is backwards because usually the first movie is like it's good or it's all right. Now, the Guardians 2 is what the first movie is. It should have been kind of all right, like meh. The first movie is better than the second, so it's backwards.
Look, all I'm saying is the second movie is not that fun to watch, to be honest. I don't find it that great, like apart from Kurt Russell. Is it as bad as Wonder Woman 84? Absolutely not. But it's not great either.
Yeah,
The
yeah, no, I
third
mean, I was watching
movie, the
Guardians
third
3 before
movie
that.
is so eclipses the first two movies by a million fucking miles. I'm not even joking. The first movie's fun. I'm not gonna take that away from it. But I never felt like revisiting that movie. It didn't compel me to watch it again. The third movie, I'm not letting Biggerford on. I'm not letting him on. He's here, but I'm not letting him on. There's no way I'm letting this nigga
Yeah, he's gonna
come
say
in
some bullshit.
and fuck up my shit.
Let him up here. He's gonna
I'm
talk
not.
shit about
I'm not
DC.
letting you on, Onzo. I'm not letting you on. I'm not letting you on to come
Nigga,
here and fucking spread your propaganda and shit
you
about
have
these
to,
movies.
because I know you guys are in here talking bullshit, and you need some real fucking MCU fans over here.
Anzo, you're
Not
lucky in the
cool.
next 12 minutes I gotta go.
Yeah,
Why?
exactly. I've got to go as well.
Why
Stream
am I
over.
lucky that
This
you
is.
have to go?
So let me answer, Jack Lord. Do you think Gen V was better or worse than what? The
Oh,
boys.
Jim V was actually good. I was shocked. I thought that shit was gonna be some weak ass college
I didn't think it
drama
was.
bullshit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was really good. I thought that was dope, but I don't think it was better than the boys.
Yeah, it's not better than the boys,
I think
but
they had
it
a
was a
miss
good spin off show. It was a solid spin off show. I'll give it that.
Yeah, it's very solid. I liked it. I liked it a lot actually.
I don't know. There's a lot of
But the
things they set up in it
boys.
that they never really did, and I don't know. Kind of disappointed, but it's okay.
No one cares about your opinion, Cole.
Yeah, thank you.
See what I mean? He comes in and he insults my guess. He has no class. This guy, none,
He just
zero.
comes to
I'm
disrupt
about to
the
salt your punk
conversation.
ass right now. Hmm?
All right,
That's
let
what I'm
me ask the
doing.
first question, Onzo, before we even move on. Do you think Suicide Squad? This is going to determine whether you're going to stay on the show or not. So basically, say the right answer. Do you think Suicide Squad is the worst movie out of or out of all the MCU and DCU movies?
Wait, hold on. So the Suicide Squad
2016.
with Will Smith?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
All right. So that's enough
Sorry,
from that
sorry,
fucking
he's
cat
right
there.
though.
All right, let's listen to the rest of this guy's list.
See, Cole agrees with me. You left him on.
What did he say? Cole, are you trying to impress
Cole said I
Onzo,
was
are you?
right.
Yeah, he's right.
Wait,
It is
no,
the worst.
Nerdman, because you didn't ask the question like that to me. Because you asked me if is Suicide Squad 2016 worse than most of the MCU movies.
No. I said, is Suicide Squad the worst? If you took all MCU movies and all DCU movies, is Suicide Squad the worst out of all of them?
Yes,
And if you say
Eternals is better
yes,
than
then you're
Suicide
fucking.
Yeah, no, probably the second worst. Not worse than Eternals, but it's right up there. Second.
It's not worse than Captain Marvel. It's not.
It
As I
is.
said, it's not worse than Captain Marvel. It's not worse than what was it? It's not even worse than fucking Doctor Strange 1,
You
to be
know,
honest.
I gotta
Let's be
work
fucking.
tomorrow
Let's
night.
keep it
What's
a buck.
going
It's
on
not
here?
even worse than Doctor Strange 1.
Wait,
Doctor
there's no
Strange
way
1
you
is
think it's better.
fucking
than that.
mediocre.
I was coming on here because I gotta
Avengers
work
2,
tomorrow.
Avengers 2, Avengers
Okay.
2 is trash as well. I'm sorry,
So
Avengers 2 ain't that good.
this is obviously gonna be a long night because just by the bullshit you're spewing right now, I understand that I have to stay on here to correct your bitch ass. So
All right. I hope he has any.
To The Marvels, this is an incredibly frustrating film because it can be superficially fun and charming, but it is such a mess on a story and storytelling level.
This is a mess. None of these storylines make any sense.
Where it feels like big chunks of the movie are just missing and the audience is left to fill in all the gaps. You can feel all the ways that the movie was reworked in editing and then duct taped together with reshoots. And it's just frustrating that they would put out a movie like this far into the MCU. This is the sort of movie that we expect from those Sony spin-off films, not from the MCU. 41, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantum Mania, another superficially entertaining MCU film with plenty of little jokes, plenty of action set pieces, but a film that just feels direct.
He's lost all credibility. Do you know why he's lost all credibility? And you're going to agree with me on this one.
He picks the movie with a black man in it. A great black man. You're right, nerd man. Cook him. Go ahead.
No. This, according to him, is the worst Ant-Man movie. According to this cat right here, this is the worst Ant-Man movie.
It's better than 2. 2's the worst one.
It's better than all the Ant-Man movies.
The fuck? It ain't better than 1.
The fuck indeed. It's better than all of the Ant-Man movies.
Okay, hold on. What were his? How many movies did he rank so far?
By the way, this is no beef against this guy. I actually like the guy.
So far, I think he's at 42.
Yeah. So let me make clear. You can insult him all you want. I don't care, but I'm not here to insult him. I like the guy. I like his channel.
Are you just talking over me, nerd man?
This one making clear for everybody. Anyway, go on.
Yes, I needed to know what were his. Okay, so what movies did he rank worse than these ones? Right. So you had Captain Marvel 2 that I've seen, and now this. But what did he rank before that?
He ranked like maybe The Dark World, Thor: Love and Thunder, Justice League, which is fair.
So he's going from worst to he's going from worst to best, right?
Yeah, from worst to best.
What was his last one?
His last one was Captain Marvel 2.
Wait, what? No, it wasn't.
Wait, Captain Marvel 2 is worse than Eternals?
No,
he hasn't even said Eternals yet, bro.
That's what I'm saying. So if Captain Marvel is the last one, then he's saying Eternals.
The last one is Justice League for him.
Okay, so either or. He hasn't said Eternals yet. So every movie he's saying now, he thinks is worse than Eternals.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know why you're watching this shit anymore. This is just as bad as you and K-Dot's opinions.
Nerman, honestly, look, Just League 2017 is better than Eternals. And I'm just saying that. It's better than Eternals.
Easily.
Josh Whedon's one, of course.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I said that.
I understand all the studio shit, but like the movie itself is still better than fucking Eternals.
I said that. Like Eternals is weak, bro. What like Harry Styles is? That's why I got pissed off because I saw him put Suicide Squad like before Eternals, and I'm like, dude, like if you're gonna do this list, what is this? And this what he goes. We expect more from the MCU. Like at this stage, we just expect so much. What are you talking about? Have you seen all the bad movies up until now? And this movie, as far as I'm concerned, at least has a good villain. At the very least, it has a good villain. The other Ant-Man movies don't have good villains, right? And this movie, all right, sure, maybe Ant-Man 1 has some quirky, small-scale charm to it, But the only thing I was entertained by in Ant-Man 1, I'm keeping it a buck, is that like fucking Hispanic dude. That's the only thing I was entertained by. Nothing else entertained me in that movie. I'm sorry. Absolutely
nothing. Of course you don't
nothing.
remember the Hispanic man.
What's his name again? The dude who did the little stories.
Luis.
That was it.
Sanchez.
I just like Boomerang. That's it.
Huh? What? Cole, stop taking drugs and actually add to the conversation. What's his name? Sanchez, did you say?
His name was Luis.
Luis, yeah, exactly.
Sanchez. I said Sanchez, motherfucker. It was me. I said it. Don't blame Cole.
And so I've got to say, is Luis better than this dude? What's his name? I can't remember any MCU characters' names. I've got to be honest. Kang the Conqueror. is Luis better than Kang the Conqueror? That's the question I have to ask myself when I assess: is
No, but
Ant-Man
he's
1
better than
better
the
than
rest of
Ant-Man
the
3?
film. Better than the rest of the film besides Kang.
What do you mean it's better than the rest of the film besides Kang? You've got to explain that to me.
Kane's obviously better than that character, but I would say with the rest of Quantumania, though, yeah, he's better than like the rest of the film because the rest of the film outside of Kane is terrible.
It's not that bad, dude.
Also, sorry, I thought you were talking about Suicide Squad for a second because I zoned out, so I just said Boomerang. I thought you meant the fire guy, like in the tank. That character.
Look, just go back and take your meow and leave the men to the conversation. Look, I can. So, all right, let's make clear. I'm not saying Quantumania is way better than Ant-Man 1. I think they're about on par. Because I don't think the first one's that good. I really don't. I think it's overrated MCU garbage. But nonetheless, you cannot, and this is where I draw the line. You cannot say Ant-Man and the Wasp is not one of the. It should be near the last in this list. There's no way Quantumania is worse than Ant-Man and the Wasp. Can we agree on that?
Yeah, yes. Ant-Man 2 should literally be below Ant-Man 3.
It's not even close, bro. It should be in Eternals, Wonder Woman 84, that kind of level. That's where
Ant-Man 2 is everything I criticize Guardians 2 for.
Ant-Man 2 is better than Wonder Woman 84 though.
Oh hell no, Hanzo.
That's true.
Yeah, he might be right.
You guys are fucking lying.
I don't know. I'd have to watch Ant-Man 2 again.
Wonder Woman 84 is like ass. Like serious talk, like not trash in DC or whatever. No, but Wonder Woman 84 is ass. It makes no sense what they did in that movie.
He's right. The only good thing about it is a few Wonder Woman scenes.
Right.
Like the scene with her flying, the scene with in the beginning with the horse where they're doing the Olympic Games. I like those scenes, but he's right. The movie is pretty bad, but at least I can remember that movie. I can't even remember Ant-Man and the Wasp. That's the difference.
But here's the thing, right? And here's one of the reasons why I say it's really stupid, right? Because at the end of the movie, she says, "Oh, I need you guys to make your wish back." And I am sorry, but anybody who wished for money is not wishing their money back.
No, absolutely. You know that was stupid. But I'll tell you this, Anzo, as bad as that was the Wonder Woman character. Like, okay, she wouldn't do that specifically, but the sentiment of what she was doing is the Wonder Woman character. She is pure, all good character that will try and inspire people to do the right thing. So in that sense, I kind of was like, all right, she chose a bad way of doing it, but she didn't betray the character completely.
No, what I was saying, I have no problems with her asking that question and telling people that's what they need to do. I'm just saying there's people out there that would be like, fuck you. I got $10 million.
Who is you? Yeah, who is you?
See, that's the problem with the world. Y'all selfish.
No, I think
selfish
she should
world tear down this movie. See, I would have gave up my $1 billion.
You lie stink. You lie fucking stink. You would have took your chances. You're gonna go back to being broke. No, I'm gonna take my chances with this money. Let's hopefully she can find another way to save the world, and I can keep my money. But if not, oh well. If I can have it, nobody can. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we talking about here?
That's true. It was just they should have never done the whole wishing storyline. It was just that capsized the movie. Basically, it was a bad idea.
Or she could have found another way to get the wishes back. You know what I mean? But not have everybody and think everybody's going to be as righteous as her and do it.
But the film was already shit by then. That was just the icing on the cake of shitness. Like it was terrible. I think it's arguably, like, this is me, like, who's upset at this video. I think that Wonder Woman 84 is arguably the worst movie out of all of these. I really do. I think it's that bad. I think at least the rest of them have some coherent kind of story to them, like in every single case.
Well, I mean, I would say Suicide Squad was pretty incoherent as well.
No,
thanks
it
to,
didn't have as incoherent a story. It was
well,
a
no, it's
simple
because
story.
the editing was a mess, and that's what made it incoherent. To me.
No, dude, you don't know what you're talking about. This guy comes out of World War fucking one and starts flying fighter planes from modern day.
Oh yeah, I'm not
It's
saying
just
that isn't. Of
complete
course, that's more
nonsense.
incoherent.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
not arguing that.
it's so incoherent. It's so slapdash. I don't care how bad the editing is in Suicide Squad. You can't tell me like the scene where it goes from this grandiose, like thing where they're doing this race on Themyscira to these weird 80s bad guys robbing a store like they were part of a Scooby-Doo cartoon or something, and the contrast between that is so vast. There's nothing tonally so mishmashed in Suicide Squad as that.
And you know what's funny? Because Cole, like your reasons for movies being shit are, oh well, the visuals are shit, or the visuals aren't good, so the movie's
I
shit.
have many
Oh,
reasons.
the
I just don't
editing,
go into detail all the
the
time.
editing is shit, so the movie is shit. You can have movies with bad editing that are still good.
Yeah, I never said that. I just those are just a few aspects that I think are the worst elements in certain films. So I just say them
I
off
didn't
the top
even
of my
really
head.
think the
I have
editing
many.
was that.
I have
I
many
didn't even think the
aspects.
editing was
Suicide
that
Squad.
bad. The editing in
Wait, in what
Yeah.
film?
In Suicide Squad.
The editing
Come on,
in
really? It's edited like a music studio did it.
No, you only say that because that information was given out. If nobody knew about the music studio editing that movie, no one would
wait,
say
it
that
did?
because it's not
Oh,
edited
shit.
like a music video at all.
Absolutely not.
I mean, in those first minutes when they get to, the first 30 minutes, yeah, it's almost like a music video.
No, it's not like a music video. It's got
like a
music
trailer.
over the scenes. There's a
Nerdman.
difference.
No.
How's it a music video?
No, but Nerdman, majority of the soundtrack, they blew it in the first 30 minutes of the movie.
So what? Each character had an intro, and the music fit who that character was.
Absolutely.
And you can't I'm sorry, you can't tell me what's it called? This devil song, Sympathy for the Devil.
The
That fits.
pacing was
That
too
that
quick.
definitely
It was
fits
uneasy.
Amanda Waller. And then she walks into Sympathy for the Devil. Then there was a hip hop song for the Will Smith character. Considering he was an assassin, all right, it didn't fit as well as Guardians of the
They
Galaxy.
played that shit because
but
he black.
it fit. Like it wasn't like
Nerdman,
completely.
they played that shit because
And what kind of music video? What kind of music video has like people talking over like 90% of it? It wasn't edited like a music video, dude. It's like I don't know what you mean by that. It was edited by a music video people, so you could see that there was elements of that in the way it was shot, but it wasn't. I don't get that criticism. I think it's just because people heard that it was edited by like this music video people that they even say that.
Even prior to that whole thing, I was already saying that the editing of the first 30 minutes, they blow the whole damn.
Okay, explain it to me. Give me in layman's terms. How is it edited like a music video? And do it quick fast, so that we can continue with this. But explain to me because I want to know. I don't understand it. Yeah, I agree with Answer.
This thing, I'm gonna just show you anyway. Because those intros, look, I'll be honest with you. This is very much music video type of shit right here.
Go on, show me.
These intros.
I'm gonna do an example. Yeah. So you see the character like you do in a lot of.
This looks like a fucking music video. Like I'm telling
you. Do you know what this looks
like
to me?
Montage.
Can I just say what this looks?
I mean, James Gunn did this whole thing in a
pause
more
it for a second.
way.
Do you know what that looks like to me? A fucking comic book. That's what comic books do, bro. When you read a comic book and it's given like the that's a comic book aesthetic. That's what I never understood. When it's doing all this thing, and you saw the face shine that looks like a fucking comic book or a cartoon to me. It didn't look like a music video.
Well, if it looked like a cartoon, that's not a good thing because we're watching live action.
Why is that not a good thing? It's a fucking comic book movie.
Right, but we're not coming to watch a cartoon.
You are so full of shit, bro.
Yeah, please don't make me take Nerdman's side and have to defend this. Please don't make me take Nerdman's side.
I just, you know me, I have to tear down Suicide Squad 2016. I don't want this to be a gas.
No, go on. Say what you're thinking. Say what you're thinking, because no, sure, it's garbage, but
it's a shit comic book aesthetic. That's what.
But what?
The music video stuff and all that shit.
Honestly, in Nerman, I'll say this: if Zack Snyder directed this visually, it will look better. It's clearly David Ayer trying to jack Zack Snyder's aesthetic. Also,
wow,
whatever, dude.
Because Zack Snyder actually has experience.
Is it worse or better than fucking Eternals and fucking Captain Marvel?
I know, yeah, 2016 better than Eternals.
Thank you. So let's just.
I already said that.
But in any case, this Quantum Mania stuff is for the birds, as far as I'm concerned. Should we move on? Has anyone got anything else to say? Because it's way better than Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Jonathan Majors as the villain was really good in that movie. So just to say that, it should be up higher. That's all.
Did by committee, where they didn't trust a writer and a director to tell a story. They just kept fiddling with it and changing it.
And then I think they did want the opportunity to change some stuff. And so they just want that freedom.
So much so that according to reports, they were changing the end of the
film. Did you say something, Cole? I'm trying to get through this a little bit quicker, but did you say something?
Yeah, sorry. Didn't mean to intro. I was just making a joke saying I wouldn't trust Peyton Reed with a film either.
Okay.
Or release
is they do rework stuff.
And you feel that. There's no stakes. There's no weight to it. There's nothing distinctive. They've turned Ant-Man into just another generic MCU film.
Do you know what's strange? Is the script reads much more straightforward than the film itself. When I saw the film, I was like, this is, like you said, this is bananas.
40 Iron Man 2. This feels like a good director and a great cast doing the best they can with a microwave script and a rush production. It's well documented. John Favreau.
He's smoking.
Okay, all right. He's gone off the reservation.
This dude's fucking.
This is worse than Eternals to him.
Dude, this is worse than Eternals. This is worse than Eternals. Let me just make this clear. I'm gonna have to say what Onzo just said. This nigga's about to make me defend the MCU, bro. Are you crazy? Iron Man 2 this low. This is what I mean. These guys shouldn't be critics. These are the guys who are on Rotten Tomatoes, bro. Feeding their poison to the fucking world. How the fuck did this guy get on Rotten Tomatoes? You're gonna tell me Iron Man 2 is worse? Iron Man 2 is kind of entertaining. I have a hot take. I have a hot take. Sometimes I feel more in the mood to watch Iron Man 2 than Iron Man 1.
Oh hell no.
No, sometimes I feel that way, bro. I think it's funnier in some sense.
All right, you guys got to get ready to head to work. I'll be listening.
Yeah, I've got to go. But no, I honestly do. I honestly think Iron Man 2 is sometimes funnier because of,
but not as dark as 1.
Like Iron Man 1 has a better story, but Iron Man 2 is kind of funnier. The jokes are funnier. The what's it called? The back and forth between him and what's that guy's name again?
Rhodey.
No. Rhodey is
Mickey Rourke.
No, not Mickey Rourke. Armie Hammer. I find that shit funny, dude. The back and forth between them two is funny as shit.
I know it's definitely better than Iron Man 3. That's for sure.
Oh
yeah, if he has Iron Man 3 up higher than that, then yeah, his list is garbage, bro. I don't know.
But this list is garbage. I mean, he's got Eternals above this. He's got. Wait a second. What other movies does he have above this? This is crazy.
Thor: Love and Thunder, Thor: Ragnarok.
He's got. You know, they always cap for Thor: Ragnarok, so that doesn't surprise me, to be honest. But Avengers 2, I think Avengers 2 is kind of worse than this one. There's a few of them that are worse. I can't seem to get a. I'm sorry, a couple of those Spider-Man movies are worse than this movie. A couple of them. At least number 2 is worse than this movie. In this, the Spider-Man trilogy that they have. At the very least, I think that's inarguable.
I don't really hate the Spider-Man trilogy, so whatever.
No, I don't hate it, but I mean Spider-Man 2, the second one, it's a bit soft. It's a bit soft. I agree with you. I defend those Spider-Man movies to a degree. I mean, maybe not as much as you, but I don't think I think 3 is kind of like the worst one, to be honest.
Sorry. Well, I defend 3 because it has many issues, but I think a lot of MCU films have the same issues, and at least it gave us more redeeming aspects with the goods, at least to me.
You mean Spider-Man No Way Home?
Yeah.
You think Spider-Man No Way Home is the worst one, Nerd Man?
Kinda, yeah.
No,
I really do. I know that's controversial, but I really do. I think it's the.
No, that's not controversial. That's stupid.
Oh no, sorry. Pardon me. Sorry. This is my hot take. I think the first one is better than the third one, but yeah, the second one is worse than both of them. You're right. Sorry. I forgot about the second one because it's so forgettable. But yeah, the second one is definitely the worst. But I think the first Spider-Man, just Spider-Man Homecoming, is a better movie than the third one.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm sorry, I just do. I think it's simpler. It's more linear. True, it's not got as much crazy shit to it. But I think the whole premise of the third movie is weird. I think the decisions he makes are kind of weird and stupid. And I don't think it's half as epic as people make out. I just think the only good thing is that you see Toby again and you see Andrew again, but they're not even acting like they did in their own franchises. Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, writing wise and everything, yeah. But I defend the third, though, because I do think just how it was made from the filmmaking to the acting was just an improvement, a step up, especially from Far From Home. So I do think it, despite the writing and everything being a complete mess, it's better than other people say, but definitely not as good as other people say.
Mysterio's a good villain in that.
Yeah, but that's about the only good thing in it.
It really is. It really is, and I even take, because the thing is about those Spider-Man villains in 1 and 2, everyone goes they're great villains, but it's only one scene. It's like one scene. All right, the Vulture has a few scenes, but for most of the run of that movie, he's a very vanilla villain. It's only Michael Keaton's kind of charisma that keeps you interested in this villain. But ultimately, he's not that interesting. He doesn't do anything bad. What does he do that's really devastating where you're like, oh shit, that's fucking menacing as shit. He doesn't do anything menacing or cruel.
He does kill that one guy, doesn't he?
Oh, he kills the one guy. Wow. What does he do that's actually villainous? It's just Michael, as I said, Michael Keaton's charisma and his delivery is it's good. And then he has that scene in the car, which is absolutely terrifying. Again, Michael Keaton acting. But outside of that, I don't see why he's awesome. And then it's the same with Mysterio.
So here's the thing.
Mysterio has one good scene.
But then you have to say that William Dafoe's character was better than both of them, right?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. It's true. It's true. Yeah, he is. At least he killed Aunt May. At least he did something. But the problem is with that is he's just nothing in comparison with what he was in his Sony Spider-Man movies. And yeah, he does a good job. I always said I felt like the villains in that movie got the memo. We should act like how we were in our own franchise, despite the writing. right? So they tried to act like they were in their own franchises.
Yeah,
Whereas Toby and Andrew just acted like they were MCU characters.
Yeah, but here's the thing with that, nerd man, right? And it's the same thing you could say with Black Panther. Their characters are written by different people, so they're gonna be different, right? Black Panther, people say he's not the same as he was in Civil War. You know what I mean? Like, oh, he's a different character.
There's enough of a connection. I mean, it's not like night and day. Like,
no, of course, I know that, but they say a lot of people say he's different, right? So you're gonna have different takes on him because it's written by different people. So you're not gonna have the exact same, Toby or Andrew that you had in their
movie. But you hate on the Flash, and now it's gonna be a 2 against 1. But you hate on the Flash. But that Michael Keaton was the fucking Michael Keaton Batman from the 80s. That he was acting like that. And he had little parts where he did things exactly like the one from the 80s would have done. Like when he was weighing them to see if the how the explosion was going to pick them up from what I'm talking about. Basically he weighed before like getting the explosion to allow them to escape. That was exactly what the Michael Keaton would do. Like, how much do you weigh? And so there were little nods to that. Whereas I didn't see any of that for those Spider-Man characters. They didn't really do that. There was like a couple of little skit kind of jokes. They didn't even.
There were nods.
Yeah, there were. Come on, bro.
Yeah, there were nods though. Like, let's be real, there were nods. You know what I mean? Especially the part where they're talking about their webs and stuff, and the way they were cracking the jokes. Like that comes out of you, and there were nods.
I suppose that was one, but it was taken as a joke. It wasn't used. It wasn't utilized in any way. It was just like, oh, you want to come out of your arm.
Yeah,
It wasn't.
the nostalgia wasn't even done that great there. Yeah, it's like they just read like a bunch of like fan memes and things on like a subreddit, and then like got all their scenes from that.
Yeah. Look,
I don't see wrong with that.
But anyway, this guy is kind of whacked out for putting Iron Man 2 this low. All right, let's move on. Let's quickly.
Years to make the film, but he only got
I've
2.
only got
and therefore their script wasn't as refined as it needed to be. The story is clunky with too much stuff crammed into it. And they didn't have as much time on set to kind of let the improvisation happen organically. And so you get a movie that has some great sequences and moments, but as a whole is a big drop in quality from the first.
I'll tell you what.
Shazam! Fury of the Gods, and this just feels like another generic comic book movie blockbuster that checks all the right boxes. You have action, you have jokes, you have lore. And you have superheroes in capes punching villains in capes. It has everything it's supposed to have.
All right, let me just pause right here.
Personality.
Okay.
I just threw a truck at a dragon. What? I love my life.
A seriously unique personality, bro. Holy shit! Now I hate him. You know how I said I have no beef against him? Now I hate him. This is so typical of you fucking MCU fans.
Oh, here we go.
What did he just say? It has no personality. As opposed to what? As opposed to what, bro? Like, your what's it called? Doctor Strange one? That has super loads of personality, bro. What are you fucking talking about? Yeah, exactly. Superwise. Exactly. There's no way. It goes below Eternals. There is no fucking way. There is no fucking way, bro. No way. And all of those Spider-Man movies, Spider-Man 2, no way. Thor Ragnarok, I'm not having it. Absolute. See, this is how far your MCU heart goes. You know Thor Ragnarok completely fucking ruined the Hulk. Completely destroyed it, and you're still gonna go Shazam 2's worse. You are a fucking. You're worse than a Satanist, bro. You're worse than a Satanist.
Absolutely, 100%. It's worse than As much as I hate Thor Ragnarok, the beginning of Thor Ragnarok to me.
Oh yeah, the beginning was really dope.
I always say it. The beginning is really good, right up until they get to the planet. The minute they get to the planet, that's where that movie goes to shit.
This bro is so trash. Has he ever said that before, Cole? Have you ever heard him say that?
I don't remember.
No, just tell the truth. Don't fucking lie about it. I know you. He's always trying to keep on side. You're like fucking Littlefinger, bro. That's what you are. You're like the Littlefinger of YouTubers. You always try to stay on fucking everyone's side. Like, oh yeah, you know. Huh?
I could find a stream where I said it. I remember sitting in the movie
You've never
and
said
watching
that
that
before.
first.
Not in your life.
Absolutely have. And I was like, yo, I told my son, I'm like, yo, this could be the best. This could be the best MCU movie. And then they got to the planet, and then I was like, nope, this is the fucking worst.
This could be the best MCU movie from the first.
Right up until they got to the planet.
Oh my god!
Right up until they got to the planet.
It is terrible from the beginning. From that stupid scene where he's spinning around on the fucking chain, making his stupid war jokes. Oh, you like that scene? Yeah, it was fucking dope.
I did like it, but then it was too much. The problem is it was too much, right? It ended up becoming too much. Everything in that movie was a fucking joke. It just went way too far. And then to top it off, they destroyed the Hulk. So yeah, absolutely.
All right. In any case, there's no way this movie is this low. They didn't ruin the Hulk, as we all know he's gonna cycle back to Savage Hulk eventually. Oh my god, this guy.
No matter
eventually, after 30 years, I'll be 60 years old by the time this fucking Savage Hulk comes out.
It don't matter what they do to him, they already destroyed his character.
They destroyed his fucking character straight up.
What they need to do is bring in the Red Hulk and make the Red Hulk what the real Hulk was supposed to be.
No, they should just reboot the whole shit. That's what they should do. They should reboot it from top to bottom and get rid of the bullshit. It is terrible. It's like The Simpsons now. It's like a TV show that's gone on for too long. It's just, it had some charm back in the day, maybe. I think it had less charm than you guys try and make out, but it had at least a bit of charm to it back in the day. It is awful now. And mainly because you guys cap for every fucking movie, and then they thought they could get away with anything they want. That's what happened. That's what happened.
He agrees with most of us, and we understand we understand what the goal is, and we understand that Shazam, Fury of the Gods, is garbage.
Shazam Fury of the Gods is not garbage.
I mean, like, I can understand his point. Like, even though I don't agree with it, I can understand his point at least. But it's not worse than some of these other films he has over it.
I don't even think it's generic, bro. I really don't. I think what's generic is what's around it, and then they're judging Shazam 2 by what's around it. It's ridiculous. Because the character is a fucking child. It's supposed to be a fucking kid. So the joke.
A kid that acts more like a man than his.
No, than the adult version when he's a superhero. Good for you. I don't care. It's still the premise of the movie. I'm not saying the premise of the movie was executed perfectly, but the fact it's a fucking comedy makes sense. You cannot tell me a film about kids who turn into superheroes, or it doesn't make sense that in some sense it's a fucking comedy. You can't tell me that. That's basic. And then it has its dragons, it has its little Monster Squad 80s vibe. It has a lot of stuff that is not fucking generic. The score alone, the musical score is better than everything in, like, I don't know a musical score in the MCU that's better than fucking Shazam 2.
Oh, please. The Avengers theme is better than anything in Shazam.
All right, the Avengers theme, yeah. It's the only one you've got. All right, so let me just say this. Twitter saw the Rotten Tomatoes score for Shazam 2 and decided to bandwagon hate on it without providing any analytical criticism outside of Billy and Shazam act differently. Exactly. period. There's much worse things in other movies than that. Okay, yes, the two main characters act a little bit differently. Yes, and or let's say they act vastly differently. They're still both entertaining in and of themselves. So if you take that and you say, all right, that's the largest criticism of the movie, are you trying to tell me that criticism takes over from blandness, from no great villains, from um, terrible comedy, from terrible cinematography, from terrible all the plot holes, all of the stuff that you find in other MCU movies being boring as shit, not even having a character in your movie, let alone two characters that act differently, like Eternals. Eternals doesn't even have a fucking character in its movie. There's no characters. They're so fucking wooden. Sorry, I'm gonna rant, but I'm letting you speak. But I have to rant about this. It's fucking bullshit.
You can rant all you want to. It's garbage. I'm just saying. She's almost
okay. That's garbage. I know he does it just to fuck me off.
They have a pen that can tell them exactly how to kill the villains, and they don't even ask to pen that.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Because nothing like that's ever happened in the MCU before. I guess huh?
But okay, so you can
say that again, Cole. Say that again, Cole.
I was just saying, yeah, you can find plot holes.
So you can find plot holes that in every film, right? But those are the films that you, Cole, specifically will call out and say they're trash. But Shazam Fury's not. Okay, that's the bias. That's what I'm.
No, because it's a good idea. It's a nice idea to have a pen.
You'll call out all that shit, especially Norman, all that bullshit and all that plot convenience.
No, I don't call it out unless it's fucking much dumber than that. No. It has to be way dumber than that.
I don't call out that stuff.
Yes, you do.
Dude, the stuff I call out is way dumber than that.
You just called out a movie for being trash because of the editing, Cole. What are you talking about?
Yeah, those are film aspects, not plot.
He's talking about film aspects. Yeah, he's talking about film aspects.
I'm talking about the petty shit, the same thing. That's what I'm saying.
It's not petty shit. So is it that you're trying to make a point? All right, we've got it now. Onzo's trying to make a point. So he doesn't actually think the movie's that bad. He's just trying to make a point. I see. Because we do it, so you're gonna do it.
No, the movie is bad.
Look.
The movie's garbage.
Let's put this in perspective here. The pen is fucking cool, right? It's a magic pen. They ask it to do things, and it does things, and it's named Steve. Okay, so that because the pen is cool. The pen is cool. Now let me ask you about the plot holes in Infinity War. Okay, so specifically plot holes that completely undermine the film. Undermine the film. For instance, we have the plot hole of Black Widow's death that doesn't make any sense, where they get the stone, right? Because of Black Widow's death, because she sacrifices herself, when it specifically said you have to sacrifice something you love or someone you love to get that stone. But you love that movie though.
Absolutely. Because but Hawkeye was holding her and he let her go.
He shut the fuck. She jumped off herself, bro.
He could, yeah. I mean,
she jumped off herself. There's no and then all of the stuff with you're telling me Thanos with a reality stone couldn't have completely fucking taken out all of the Avengers, like easily, and got those stones very quickly.
And I told you why.
You're talking about a fucking pen. Oh, the pen could have answered the question of how to defeat them.
Hold on. Are we talking about Infinity War or Endgame? Because
I'm talking about Infinity War and Endgame. Infinity War and Endgame. Could Thanos, yes or no, have used that reality stone? Have used that reality stone and all the stones he had to take out those Avengers much quicker than he did. Given that he could, it showed that he could turn the Guardians of the Galaxy. Could turn the Guardians of the Galaxy into spaghetti and bubbles But he can't do that to Iron Man.
He wanted the fucking time stone. He had no idea where the time stone was. So of course he had to fucking find out where it was. He didn't know where it was.
Cap is so hard.
He didn't know where the time stone was.
The cap is so hard. The cap is so hard, isn't it?
He didn't know where the time stone was.
He didn't know where the time stone was. He didn't know where the time
was.
stone was. That's your excuse. He
He
couldn't
didn't
have
know where
turned
the time
fucking
stone
Iron
was.
Man into spaghetti.
He didn't know where the time
He
stone
didn't know where the
was.
time stone was.
Right, because when he was about to kill Iron
Did he have the
Man,
Mind Stone at that point?
I don't know.
No, he didn't, because it was on what's his name?
Vision.
Your boy.
Vision.
Okay, whatever. But he had reality, he had space, he had a number of different things. Let's see what he has to say. Infinity War has the plot hole of Doctor Strange not chopping off Thanos' arm with a portal. Thank you. Another plot hole. Why didn't he do that? Explain to me that. And you're talking about a fucking pen giving children.
Right? Like, come on, stop it.
Sorry,
like, really?
Children who clearly don't know better. Why would they ask that question? Why would they ask that question, answer, when they're children who don't fucking know better? At least there's a built-in excuse in Shazam.
Who wouldn't ask
They're
that
children
question,
who don't
bro?
know better.
It
You're
doesn't
talking
matter.
about
You see,
the
there's your
smartest.
capping.
You're talking about one of the
There's your
smartest.
capping.
Wait.
The first
You're talking
fucking
about
thing
one
you
of the.
ask the pen
Also,
that
shut.
can answer any. No.
All right, I'm gonna say this whether he likes it or not. You're talking about one of the smartest warriors in the universe, in Thanos, and he doesn't know. Yeah, like to fucking take the Infinity Stones and just turn all of these guys into spaghetti. You're talking about Doctor Strange, one of the smartest guys in the universe. He doesn't know to chop Thanos's arm with a portal. Don't get out of here, Onzo. Now you can speak your shit.
Shazam has the wisdom of Solomon. What the fuck are you talking about, dummy?
Wisdom of Solomon. It's clearly said in the movie how the wisdom of Solomon works. It don't work like that. You might not accept that. Maybe you don't want to accept what they say about the wisdom of Solomon, but the film addresses that how the wisdom of Solomon works with Shazam. It works as in he has a wise heart. It works as in he has a wise heart. Get out of here. At least it bothers to explain it.
For plot convenience.
Okay, so at least it bothers to explain it. Your film doesn't even bother to explain any of this shit. Where did he go?
Shit. And
what
these
happened?
MCU fans always slide out. Shit.
What happened? I'm gonna see what happened with him.
Fucking Mike. Did you send Mike a link?
You sent Mike a link, little.
Oh no, did you?
Oh, is Mike here?
Yeah, well, he's in the comments now.
Oh, really? Okay. Where is it? Where is he?
His power.
I think this argument got too hot for his computer. Anyway, all right. Anyway, so I have to go right now, but we're gonna do part 2 later. I love these arguments. You know, I love Anzo. I hope he comes back for this later.
Yeah, I mean overall,
because we were just getting into this, but we will react part 2 later on.
Yeah, well, I mean, what's your thoughts overall on this so far, though? This video?
Oh, it's garbage. I mean, it doesn't even make a lick of sense.
Yeah, I can at least here's the thing. I can at least understand, even though I don't agree with a lot of it, his point of view and with a lot of the placements and his reasoning. Just the way he explains it is absolute garbage, and there's also a clear hypocrisy here with the universes and also with like Snyder films as well. So yeah, screw this film. I mean, screw this video.
Yeah, I mean, I like the guy, as I said. I don't mind his channel. I find it fairly entertaining, but I just thought for once, like, because he's so clearly MCU biased, like from what I've seen, MCU and Snyder bias, to be honest, that I just felt like just reacting to it live.
What do you think?
Should we find out what the next one is before we go? Because I've got like 1 or 2 more minutes.
Sure,
Bonzo, I hope you didn't leave because you're offended or something, but
His power might have just like went out or something.
I think his power went out probably.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we can do one last one, I guess. But where do you think Man of Steel is going to be in this list?
I think it's going to be number 1, bro. I'm not even lying. I think it's going to be
it'll be
number
like top
3
10 or something.
It's going to be top 10. And you can tell. Can I say one other thing about this channel? You know he does it because of the people who will agree with him. Because he'll get more subscribers. He gets more subscribers that way.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
He's gonna call Man of Steel like a better adaptation of
it's
Superman.
An underrated masterpiece.
Yeah, he's gonna say it like it fixed. He's gonna say it fixed Superman.
Dude, Man of Steel. Like, I don't look. I've reassessed the movie. It's still garbage, right? I know you're gonna you probably overrate how garbage it is, but it is garbage.
No, it's just a bad film. I don't think
it's a bad film. Okay,
or anything. There's
right?
Aspects
it's
like,
still
like,
better than a lot of MCU films. I'm not gonna lie, it's still better than a lot of MCU films, but it's garbage, right? So at best, I can accept people going, you know what, the action's really, really cool in this movie, and I'm an action guy, and so I just love the way the action is shot and everything like that is fucking amazing, right? It's better than a lot of superhero movies. I can accept that, right? But to call the film a masterpiece, for the words masterpiece and Man of Steel to be used in the same sentence is an insult to filmmaking in general. I don't know, like, what do you mean by masterpiece? Are we like? Do you know what I'm saying? It gives me a headache having those two concepts put in the same fucking sentence as each other so much by Snyder fans. I don't know what they mean by masterpiece. It's got so many glaring problems that even if you like the movie, the glaring problems completely what do you call it? They completely what's the word? Fucking hell, I've forgotten the word. It's forfeit. It becomes forfeit from being a masterpiece just from the glaring problems, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I don't get it. Like, masterpieces should be absolutely like almost perfect.
You know what? There's a part of me, it would be great. It still wouldn't be a masterpiece. Look, the plot holes in that movie are beyond. I mean, like, even Zod's plan doesn't make fucking sense.
And I just don't like the acting. There was like no chemistry with Henry Cavill and sorry, what's the actress's name again? Like Amy Adams or something. Is that her name?
Absolutely. He had to apologize for the slander. Also, not showing the family after he killed Zod was a mistake. Yeah, I think that there was more problems. There were more fundamental problems in that movie. I didn't think Zod's plan made a lick of sense. I really don't. Like, he's a god. Suddenly, all Kryptonians could be gods. They had a whole crop of slaves that they could have, basically. Why would you terraform the earth? What is the need for that?
Yeah, and the way he tries going about it and convincing Cavill's character was just fucking horrendous.
Like, you could just completely survive on that planet. Clearly, Clark had, right? He adapted to the planet. All right,
but that's
a little bit
films,
painful at first.
So he had a cool vision of something in his mind for like a shot, like with all the skeletons. So then he wrote it in, but then it's like it makes no sense. But yeah, I like the cool shot, so he kept it in.
Yeah, and to me, I can't really get behind a villain where I'm like, I don't care how cool he's acting or how well he says the lines or whatever, which he didn't do it that well, to be honest. people cap for that performance of
it
what's
was
his name
not good.
so hard. He was not that great. I will take Terrence Stamp over this fucking dude every day of the week and twice on Sundays, bro. Like basically, yeah. So if a villain's plan is so stupid that I'm just like, I can't respect you because what you're doing is so stupid. Like, then to me, I can't really get behind that villain. So the very premise of what he's doing, turning Earth, there's no reason. There is absolutely zero fucking reason for him to do that. And they try and make him kind of like a villain, like where you're like, what do you call these kind of villains? Like, not a sympathetic villain, but like a villain where you kind of understand that he's the hero of his own story. Do you know what I mean? Like he's just trying to defend his people. He's just trying to like, but then you're like, but in the end of the day, bro, I'm sure there's another planet with a yellow sun around it that you could take rather than fucking commit genocide over a whole people, who are going to fight you back, by the way, and possibly stop you because they've got a Superman of their own. Like, isn't there another way around this, bro? Like, this is a big universe. You're telling me that little ship of yours couldn't find another planet with a yellow sun that maybe just has, like, hasn't evolved to the stage of, like, humanity yet? So either you're a ruthless genocidal maniac, right, who is doing this because you're a ruthless genocidal maniac, which that's fine. You could go with that. And then he wants to just kill all Earthlings and turn Krypton into Earth into Krypton for some bizarre reason, even though that will take away most of his powers. But that's one character path. But to try and make it like, oh, he's trying to defend his people and blah, 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 that makes no sense to me. You could colonize Mars. You could do a number of things. You could negotiate with it. Like, there's no reason to wipe out all of humanity so as for Krypton to live. There's no reason for that. Do you get what I'm saying, Cole? Or you?
No, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
To me, that never made sense. I just couldn't get behind it. It was the same with
a lot of
Thanos.
things in the film just didn't make any sense. It's like there were a lot of like attempts for a lot of scenes with a lot of characters in that film, but they didn't really examine a lot of it as they should have, or like gave them enough.
So to me, that was what made it not a masterpiece. I was looking at all those plot points and just going, dude, this doesn't make sense. I didn't get why. He's trying to keep himself a secret, but he keeps doing all these massive fucking things where he's saving people in broad daylight, but he let his father die. That was the stupid thing about letting his father die. If he let his father die, but he was just trying to hide the whole time and didn't save people, and I wouldn't have liked it, but at least it would have been consistent. But he let his father die, and then blatantly in front of everyone goes and lifts up, a big oil fucking tanker or whatever the fuck it was, and leaves those people to just tell his story. So what was the point of letting your father die, bro?
Yeah, he didn't think about that stuff. He just saw some cool scenes, like I have to add them. I don't know, Mike. I'll make him shut up next stream if you promise to finally watch the second Shazam already.
Yeah, watch the second Shazam for God's sake, and tell us if you believe it's like 59th in full comic book movies in the last 10 years. Anyway, so let's find out what this next one is. Quickly get past this garbage. It's so stupid what he's saying right now.
The first Shazam had it being big as a superhero movie, but this movie ages up Billy just enough that it loses that, and so it doesn't have anything distinct about it. It's fine, it's totally watchable, but it's not memorable.
You are very menacing. I just want you to know that.
38, Spider-Man Far From Home. Now, I know a lot of you love this movie, and you see this placement, and you want to just...
See? Can you see? Did you see that? Did you see what he just did there? You see that? He just fucking outed himself because he knows Spider-Man's worse than Shazam 2. But he put it above it because he knows what the general audience thinks. Right?
Yep.
He has this assumption about like what general audiences think, and that's why he's a fucking, I'm not gonna say, look, again, I like the guy, he's a cool guy, but like his opinions are suspect. So what were you gonna say, Cole?
Oh no, nothing. I was just agreeing, like, yeah, especially with the Spider-Man films. I mean, honestly, I'm just kind of shocked, like, he's doing this, but why didn't he put some of the other MCU films that at least everybody agrees are trash then, though? So like there's no risk. Like, where's Eternals? But also, what about the Incredible Hulk? Nobody really cares about that, even whether it's
Where's
bad
the
or
Incredible
good.
Hulk? You trying to tell me Incredible Hulk is a better movie than Shazam? Get off, dude. You're so right. That's so true. Like, Incredible Hulk should have been on this list already. Oh my god. All right. Oh, what was before Shazam? I think like just Captain Marvel 2, Suicide Squad, Usual Suspects. What am I saying? You don't care.
Was there any standouts that he said that was just really dumb?
I can't remember. Like the
he
Iron
said
Man 2,
Iron
I
Man
thought
2,
was way
yeah.
too like Iron Man 2 should be somewhere in the middle to me. I don't think that's as bad a movie as he's making out at all. But at least he put Shazam 2 above Iron Man 2. At least I can respect that. But like apart from
Yeah, I mean, again, I said this many times. I think just like if they combined Iron Man 2 and 3 together more, and then made 3 a lot more darker and just something different, then it wouldn't be as hated, like both of them. Because the main thing with Iron Man 3 is people wanted, and with like the trailers and everything, they wanted like a more serious, dark, Iron Man film again, and for like the closing of like the trilogy, which they advertised. But while the film still isn't like great or anything, there is a lot of like good scenes in there that work with like being comedic and being like the Tony Stark we like, and also with a lot of action stuff with the suits that's really cool. And I think just like if all that stuff was in along with the second film as well, and then the third was just something else and more darker, then people wouldn't hate on it as much. But
I'll tell you what, guys. Look, I have to get to work because I'm an adult and all of that stuff. But I did want to share this with you because this is what I do before work. I watch stupid videos about like MCU and DCU on YouTube as I'm waking up. But I'll tell you what. I'm thinking, because I want to do a promise so that we finish this list together. W stream. No, man. So we can do this list, finish this list together. I'm thinking to make sure that I do it at the right time. I think Thursday. Thursday definitely. I'll be able to finish this. It will be earlier, but I'll put it up on. I'll get Cole to put it up on Twitter and everything like that, or somebody to put it up on Twitter. Cole, hopefully you can join. I don't know. It will be Thursday evening for me, so it'll be a little bit earlier than this. Huh?
Thursday evening. Okay, I'll try to write that down and remember. But I mean, like, what time zone are you again?
Fucking. It's like the time zone of. Listen, I have to go, but it's Eastern. Sorry, Central Europe time zone.
Okay, Central Europe. Okay, so yeah, just even them that like around 3 or something. Okay.
Cool. I can't wait to finish this with you guys, man. It's been lots of fun. I hope Onzo does come back.
I hope nothing serious happened.
I was shouting over him a little bit. I hope he didn't get like, but I think it was just his electricity or something went wrong. So yeah, I'll catch you guys later. This was a fire stream. Thank you, Superwise. Thank you for everyone who's joined, and we will finish this list together. And I might also react to one more video of his. Again, super nice guy, no problem with him. So yeah, it's nothing to do with him as a person. It's just like his opinions I just find so typical of MCU fans that I had to just react to it with.
It's like the comic book fan version of like what's that guy's name again? Jeremy Johns or so.
Yeah, exactly. The old Jeremy Johns. Yeah. All right. Peace, guys. Have a good one. Have a good day, guys.